Well, I really enjoyed the ferry ride. I've arrived now at Friday Harbor, and I've driven about 10 minutes over here to the English camp. This is part of the San Juan Island National Historic Park, and I'm going to do the hike up to Young Hill. But first I'm going to show you a little bit about the English camp. Here's a little information about the English camp. In 1859, the killing of a pig on San Juan Island brought England and the United States to the brink of war over the issue of territorial rights. By agreement, both nations' troops were permitted to occupy this area while the problem was studied. British soldiers established camp here at Garrison Bay, and the American troops were at the southern end of the island. Peaceful arbitration in 1872 placed the San Juan Islands under the territorial U.S. And then in October, the British garrison was abandoned. So they have a theme here: peace over war. Right now, the visitor center is closed, but I imagine in the summer, during the busy time, it'll be open at least on the weekends. Well, it's starting to warm up, but there is still a bit of a chill in the air and a little breeze. I'm heading to the far end of the parking lot to start the trail to Young Hill. And I think it's at the most going to be a 2-mile loop. And we're going to head past an old cemetery where there are a few British soldiers were buried. And it's sunny and clear. Hopefully we'll have some amazing views. Young Hill. In 1860, when William Warren and his boundary survey team climbed Young Hill, it was nameless as far as the Europeans know. When they reached the summit, they saw Garry oaks on grassy mountain slopes and valleys where Hudson's Bay Company sheep grazed. Today, as you hike the 2-mile round-trip trail to Young Hill summit, you'll enjoy the very extensive view too. I've been seeing quite a few calypso orchids, little tiny pink flower, just along the side of the trail here. Little bright spots of color in the green. Take this little turn off to the English Camp Cemetery. It's small. I think I read online that there are 7 people buried here. We're now back on the main trail and heading up to Young Hill. It was nice to take a side trip over to see the cemetery. They're working on restoring the Garry oaks, and saw a few wildflowers, blue camas and some bright pink shooting stars. The birds are very active this morning. Making our way up the hill. Pretty white fawn lilies all along the side here. Getting closer to the top now. We'll head to the right first. Now we'll walk over here to the left a little bit for some more views. We're going to climb a little bit higher, but I'm stopping to admire the view. The far snow-capped mountains are on the Olympic Peninsula, past the Strait of Juan de Fuca, the Olympic Mountains. It's turning out to be a really beautiful day. Sunshine, just a light breeze. It was about 1.2 miles to get up to the top of Young Hill here, including the side trip to the cemetery. I'm going to make my way down now and then drive just a little bit, probably 10 minutes, to get over to the American camp. Well, the sun is still out. It's a beautiful day, and I've made my way over now to the American camp. And I'm at the trailhead. I think it's Jackal's Lagoon trailhead, and I'm across from the big prairie that overlooks the Strait of Juan de Fuca. That's one of the last native prairies in Washington. So yeah, the trail heads off down here towards the lagoon. It took about 20 minutes to get over here, a little longer than I remembered, but it's a nice, easy drive. There are beautiful farms along the way with some alpacas, sheep, and goats, and it's beautiful farmland. Here's the map of where we are. We're off to the middle left, and we're going to do Mount Finlayson. And we're going to do a loop trail, and it's going to be 3 miles or a little bit longer if I add the third lagoon. Mount Finlayson is 290 feet elevation. We're going to walk the trail clockwise. So we're starting out here past the gate. And yeah, here it says the loop is 2.9. taking the short side trail over here to see the lagoon. The trail kind of skirts around it, but I'm not sure there are going to be any views because the forest is so thick. But one of the nature signs back there was talking about the orchids and how many varieties there are around the world, and that orchids are a sign of a healthy forest, and that there are 41 types in Washington, and I think I've only seen 10, maybe 12. So I'm going to have to up my game and yeah, try and find some more orchids. So yeah, I usually just go on the trails I want, but I don't really go specifically looking for one particular flower. But I might have to go on an orchid hunt. All right. One fort. We're going to go back and walk around the far side of the lagoon. We'll walk out towards the shoreline a little bit. I don't know about the tide right now. It's been low in the afternoon this past week. So it's probably, I'm guessing it's heading towards low tide right now. Okay, we're joining up with the main trail again, and we have a reminder that the best relationship with wildlife is a long distance relationship. So there are fox around, so stay 75 feet, and the sea mammals 150 feet. Give them room, use your zoom. I like it. Part of the time I was growing up, we lived in Southern California, and we would go to the warm beaches there. That's where you like wear a swimsuit, you go body surfing, you find shells, play in the sand, you stay there all day, it's warm. Then we moved to Washington, and the beaches are quite different. The water is cold, the beaches are rocky, lots of driftwood. And yeah, that fort just reminded me that, yeah, so up here the kids move the driftwood around and make forts and play in there. And yeah, we never went in the water up here. It's kind of fun though if you go at low tide, at a real low tide, you could see the tide pools. And yeah, I don't think we ever did that in California, but yeah, sea anemones, starfish, all kinds of crabs and stuff in the low tidal zones. Yeah, so it's just something different about different areas where you grow up. Come to another junction. We're just going to keep going straight now towards the Mount Finlayson. Coming out of the forest now. We're going to go to the left. Down below us is the Park Road. If we kept going, I think it's Cattleman Point. There's a lighthouse out there. This is basically looking south. Now we're turning to the west. Yeah, we've driven that road quite a few times, but have never done this trail before. So the peak of Mount Finlayson is up here just a little bit. Some cute orange bikes down there. Some sort. Looks like 2 people. So I've been out here quite a few times over the years. Maybe 10 times, but always on a day trip, so you're kind of rushed. You can now make reservations for the San Juan ferries. You can go online to Washington ferries, and so that really helps because when you're going back, you have to get there like an hour before the ferry leaves, and when it's busy, like in the summertime, you probably want to get there 2 hours so you can get a spot. But nowadays, in the past couple years, you can make reservations, so you have a little bit more relaxing day trip out here. Sometime I'd really like to come and camp out here, but for people who have spent more time here, they can see whales. There's orcas and other whales that come by, and fortunate people have been able to see them. So I've kind of got my eyes open out there, but I've also been on the ferries quite a bit, but not a whole lot. Haven't never commuted on the ferry or anything, and never seen whales from the ferry. So maybe this year, hopefully. Here we are. I think this open area is the top of Mount Finlayson. Not too high elevation, but give us a nice view here. As we come around, follow the trail and go over that next crest, we'll be able to see the big open prairie. I'm not sure if they consider this part of the prairie also. Okay, we've crested the hill there. Great view of the beach. You can drive down there. There's 3 parking areas. You can see the big open field. That's generally where we've seen the fox before, though I have seen them on this hill from the car. And again, you're seeing Vancouver Island on the far distance, Canada. I'm just about back to the trailhead now. I've measured that at 3.5 miles, the loop that I did, including going out to the lagoon. It's just a glorious day. I love it. I see a hawk over there. I'm gonna go check that out. It's just about 3 o'clock, and I have about 2 hours before I'm gonna head over to the ferry and get in line by, head over there by 5, get in line by 5:30, and have a little snack, and it should take about an hour to get back to Anacortes. So yeah, I'm gonna go over by the beach, see if I see any animals, any more flowers, and it's just been a wonderful day. So thanks so much for joining me. Hope things are going well for you, and I'll see you again soon.